Hello everyone, this is Mix K. I'm just here to go over some additional class expectations. So if you've already watched my welcome video, this is going to have a little bit more detail than the previous video. I'm going to go over a little bit about my class website and some of the different resources you can find here, including my syllabus and my expectations for class. So when you go to my Google Classroom and you go to the resources tab, there's going to be a link to this website, and this website has a lot of useful information. Now, if you go to the start, you'll see a little image of a virtual classroom. You can actually click on the different boxes in this classroom, and it'll send you to the different links in my site and outside of my site. So you have things like the periodic table, lab safety, Google Classroom, my email, the online textbook. Sorry about that. Clever, homework assignments. This is going to be your quick link. Now, all of these resources are also in the Student Resources tab, which I'll click on in a minute. But I just want to show you right here, there is my contact information right on the front page. Now, if you go to Student Resources, it'll still have this virtual classroom for you to click on. So if you feel more comfortable using the virtual classroom and clicking on the images, you can do that. Or underneath, there are links to everything as well. So everything on here is also in this virtual classroom space. As we go through some of the resources, one thing I want to talk about first is class rules and expectations. And then we'll just click around a little bit on the website. So this is chemistry class. I talked a little bit about it in my intro video, so I'm going to focus on the rules and expectations I didn't talk about in my introduction video. So in chemistry class, we're learning about matter. Now, my grading policy is that I just average all the points together. So smaller assignments will be worth less points. Bigger assignments will be worth more points. I add up all the points you earn, and I divide it by all the total points. And that's how I get your grade. I don't do any weighted anything. I just add it all up and divide it. Now, all of your grades are going to be on Google Classroom, so you can keep track of what assignments you've done and how you've been doing on them. Our textbook is an online textbook called Living by Chemistry. I will be giving you guys instructions on how to access that online textbook as we go into the year. I don't usually assign stuff out of the textbook, but it's a good additional resource to use and have. For late work, usually I give you guys the amount of days that you are out to make up any work. So if you're sick or absent, if you're absent a week, I'll give you a week to make up your work. If you are out, just come have a conversation with me and we'll come up with a plan to help you get caught up. Now, I know that things are a little crazy, so this has a little bit of wiggle room. For me, it's more important that you have the opportunity to learn than me just giving you a bunch of zeros on assignments you missed. So just have a conversation with me about what you've missed and we'll work out a makeup plan. Tests and quizzes. I'm going to go to my little test and quizzes page real quick for you guys. Now for tests and quizzes, if you take a small quiz, I will let you retake it. So if you get a 5 out of 10 on a quiz and you come outside of class time to retake that quiz and you get a 10 out of 10, I keep the better of the two grades. For tests, on the other hand, it's a little bit longer. Sorry, I've been talking a while. So for a test, you can earn up to a 95 on any test on corrections. The only way to earn above a 95 is to get it on the day of the test. So if you want 100, you got to earn that 100 on the day of the test. But after the test, if you want to do corrections, you have to write the full question, a new full answer, and explain why your new answer is correct in full sentences. If the test is on paper, you need to staple your test paper to your answer sheet so I know which questions you got right and wrong. When you start doing test corrections, I do have some different examples on this page. An example, sorry guys. Example of what multiple choice looks like, a short answer would look like, and what a show your work kind of question would look like. Now, back to other classroom expectations. Like I said in my welcome video, the biggest thing for me is respect. Respecting yourself, respecting your classmates, respecting me, and respecting your materials. For respecting your classmates, give them the opportunity to learn. Don't be talking over me or over your classmates during class. And make sure you're not using disrespectful or hateful or derogatory language. We want to make sure our classroom is safe for everyone, and that means making sure we're not using any language that could accidentally or purposefully hurt someone. Now, if you use some language in my classroom, like hurtful, derogatory language, and you apologize, I feel like you are meaningful about your apology, and you apologize to me and the other student, we're going to be fine. But if it's something where I feel like you're really being rude and disrespectful, or you continue using that language or refuse to apologize, then we're going to have to get into a disciplinary area. Let's see. Talked about for absences. If you're out for a week, I will let you make up that work. Just talk to me about the work you missed, and we'll come up with a plan. My extra help is on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings and Tuesday afternoon. If you need to meet with me another time, I will put out opportunities for you to schedule extra help times outside of that. I think we talked about no late work. For no late work, I need you guys to be passing in your homework on time so I have time to give you feedback, and so that we can use that work to modify what our classes are going to be like. So when I say something is due by the end of the day or something is due by midnight, I really thought about the time that it's due so I have time to look over your work. So make sure you're getting stuff in on time. If you don't get stuff in on time, I might not look at it right away, and you might have to wait for feedback. So make sure you're getting that in on time. Be prepared. Make sure you're coming to class with everything. Clean up after yourself. Once we're back in the building, make sure you're keeping your space clean. Be on time. When we start class virtually, I will have a check-in and a bell work for you to do. So you'll come in, you'll do your starter work, and then we'll get started. But it is really important that we all come in on time. No fooling around. Once we're back in the classroom, we are in a chemistry classroom, so sometimes there's chemicals and glassware out. So you don't want to have anyone fooling around and being inappropriate in the classroom. One of the things I hate the most is like fake fighting, where you're like, oh, it's fine, we're just like, messing around. Half the time when someone fake fights, it turns into a real fight because it's not funny anymore. So I want to make sure that we're not fooling around, pushing each other around in class, because one, it's just not safe in a chemistry classroom, and two, it's not respectful to your other classmates. Sit in your assigned seats. Once we're back, we're really going to have to sit in our assigned seats, so make sure you're following that rule. And my last one is be your best. It is really hard to fail my class. As long as you're trying your best, you're going to be fine. You really have to actively try to not do any work to fail my class. My 3-strike policy, basically, if you're breaking a rule, you apologize, you stop breaking that rule, we'll move on. Okay, we're not going to get into any details with that. If I have to repeatedly tell you that you're breaking this rule, or you refuse to stop breaking the rule the first time I give you a warning, we're going to move on to detention. I'm not sure how detentions are going to work right now, but I'll keep you in the loop for that. And then the last thing is that if you continue to break this rule, or you are really being disrespectful to me, or you miss your detention, then we're moving to a write-up where I actually involve your assistant principal. So you have 3 strikes before I start involving your assistant principal in whatever situation we have going on. I would prefer not to involve assistant principals, but if you are being really disrespectful and continue to break rules, I will pull them in. That being said, obviously there's some things where I'm not going to give you a warning for. We're going to go right to detentions or right to assistant principals. So like if you punch someone in the face, I'm not giving you a warning. You're going to go talk to your assistant principal. For remote learning, most of these rules will stay the same. A couple things. Clothes, I don't care what you wear as long as you're dressed. You can be in your PJs. That's fine with me. But make sure you're covered. For the camera, you don't need to put your camera on. I encourage you to put it on as much as possible so I can see your faces and try to get an idea of how you're doing based on your facial expressions. But I'm not going to require it. That being said, I will be asking everyone to participate in some way. I do want to see everyone's faces at some point, whether that's in class, in the chat, or if you send me a private video where we are just one-on-one, that's fine. But I do need some kind of participation from you guys each week. Pets, I want to see your pets. I do. I really do. But we cannot be interrupting class. So if we're in independent work time and I'm not busy and you're all kind of doing your thing and you're like, look, here's my cat. I would love to see your cat. I would love to see your dog. But if I'm in the middle of instructions, please make sure that you're waiting And please do not go wandering off halfway across your house to go get a pet. If it's in the room, great, show me it. But if it's off in your basement somewhere, don't go on a hunt for your pet. Recording, you're not allowed to record. I'm not allowed to record. I will post videos and notes separately, but you can't be recording stuff during our things. It's against the rules. And any other rules, I will keep you in the loop. Right now, these are the main rules that we've been discussing with the district. But obviously, as we start learning about remote learning and as we start getting into it, some things might have to change. So just keep that in mind that as the year goes on, I might make adjustments to make sure our class is running smoothly. Now, just if you're a student, I just want you to be aware there are so many resources here. You have information about Google Classroom, test and quiz correction information, periodic tables and other reference sheets, math references and help, lab equipment and safety information, and the class rules and expectations. And on the main student resource page, you have tons of other links. For the About Me section, you have a little page about me, my schedule, and all my contact information. Now, the last thing I just want to show you is the parent and guardian page. Now, whether you're a student or a parent or guardian watching this video, you're going to need to go to this page together. So at some point, at the beginning of this school year, probably the first week, you are going to need to sit on this page and go through a survey together. So student and parent and guardian. Now, the student, parent, and guardian website, or the parent and guardian resources, the link to the survey is right here. That survey is going to tell you all the class rules and expectations. It's going to have the lab safety contract and information, and it's going to help me get your parent contact information, parent and guardian contact information. When you're done with the survey, your student will be allowed to go into chemistry labs as long as they pass their lab safety quiz. You will all know what to expect from my class. You'll have all my contact information, and I'll have all your contact information. If you choose to, you can I can add you to Google Classroom so you can see what your student is doing if you're a parent or guardian. And once this is done, your student, if you're the student watching this, you'll have 100% on an assignment to start the year. Okay, so make sure you're clicking this survey. A couple other things down here. There's some information on Google Classroom for parents. I have some links to videos in other languages as well. And then if you need help with translating this website, there's a link on how to do the Google Translate Chrome extension. So you download this extension, and this video will show you how to do that. That way you can see things in your first language. Okay. So that is about it. I'm just going to click on my homepage. If you have any other questions or concerns about my class, please let me know. But thank you all for your time. I hope you have fun exploring my website and my Google Classroom.